A Look at Seniors is underwritten by the generous support of these sponsors.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, I have a confession. I must admit that one of the great rewards of running this media company is I get the opportunity to do series on things that we feel or we hear about are important to the community. And none better than this Look at Seniors, and nobody better to work with than the Executive Director, Lois Celeste, for Saratoga Senior Center. And it was quite an exciting 8-part series we did, right?
Thanks, Jesse. We've covered a lot.
Second time around. Lois did set the premise up early on, and we followed it throughout the series, which was, let's plan ahead. Let's get prepared for the things that are coming. You're in the trenches every day with people asking all kinds of questions, facing all kinds of challenges. And, you took that away. You thought, you want to know something? Let's get ahead of the curve on this, right?
Yeah, we talked about a lot of issues that are relevant to all seniors and their children, covering everything: finance, housing, investments, Alzheimer's. Yes, right. We had looking
Medicare.
At issues of sight and Medicare, everything. We covered a lot of territory.
Right. At the beginning and the end of this conversation, I really want to acknowledge the sponsors, because without their support, we would not be able to do this series. And every single one of them really had a stake in the well-being of our senior population. One thing that I took away from this, keeping active is a real important part of just your overall health.
It's what we see every day. It's why I do what I do every day at the senior center, is keeping seniors active, keeping them engaged, keeping them socially connected, educating them. That's what senior centers all over the place are about. And I think it helps seniors age gracefully.
Yes.
And I just...
Well, you know what? I think facing age is always a challenge, right? Some of the conversations we have with each other and some with our guests, we're all about, we sort of go kicking and screaming as opposed to embracing it. If you embrace it, that's a much more rewarding life and experience, right?
Of course. I always say nobody wants another birthday, but what's the alternative?
Yeah,
so
right.
If you're going to be here, let's make the best of it and let's have fun with it. And I think, I'm very inspired by many of our seniors that I see every day, because I have people that come in that are well into their 90s, very active, still volunteering, still doing everything, and you can have that. So when I grew up through the generations and you think about aging and you think about older folks, what is that? I definitely expect to live to 90 at this point. I mean, it's just so doable, and staying active right until then. So if you're going to, it's important to get educated about what you might need to do as you
age.
Yeah.
Sure. 90 is the new 20, by the way. I just want to say that, for anybody my age. The one thing stands out to me, too, and a lot of people spoke about this, the importance of the generations talking to each other. That between technology and the age that we're living in right now, you're moving from the greatest generation, really my parents, to the boomers, which would be my generation, to Gen X, your generation, and the generations coming. That's very important that there be that intergenerational connection, right?
Very much so. And we see it every day. And thank you for that, but I'm part of the boomers. But
they moved the year?
I think they did. I think they shifted it.
Oh, I see.
But no, we do that. And that's our challenge and everyone's challenge in this industry, and all of your sponsors that spoke, still trying to address that greatest generation, yet you've got your boomers coming up that want different things. It's a different...
it's a different mindset.
It's a different mindset. Yeah. When the senior center is 60 years old, when they were born, they set bylaws of 50 or older. We've kept those bylaws, but providing programming for a 50-year-old and providing programming for a 90-year-old is different, yet it's not. So when you talk about the intergenerational, we see it every day, and we see it with the high school kids coming up who want to come and volunteer at the center, or the college kids doing internships. What's exciting about that is it really exposes them to the different generation.
Yes, right.
And to their aging parents, grandparents, all of that. Everybody generally has somebody that they care for that's older, and it's awesome. It's awesome to
Yeah.
see the but the technology is changing everything.
That's right. Sure it is. You know, and the way you get the information, and it's really true. You just think about that. I think about the way my parents get their information or their tolerance for information, the way the boomers absorb that, the way the millennials, all the way down to millennials, absorb that. It's very different. Technology at the centerpiece of all of that, because anything is available at any time for any reason, anywhere. You know, and boy, does that really change the landscape. You have so many programs at the Senior Center.
Yeah.
What are a couple of the programs that are coming up that really exemplify what we're talking about here?
Well, we're going to do a health screening clinic coming up in June, which is great. Come in for a day and get screened for different things. We have a health fair coming up in May, and that's a lot of different senior service providers who are there to answer questions for you. We do a lot of education, and I really think that's key. But we also do on Fridays our Super Social Fridays, which are, you know, music. I think this Friday we have like Birds of Prey coming in or something, and we do networking series. So, you know, when I break down the Senior Center and what we do programs, we do education, and we do support services. And I think all of that, everybody wants something different.
That's right. But you know, at the heart of it is the social interaction. The heart of it is learning something, having some fun and doing it, relating to other people your age, meeting young people, having young people cross culture by, you know, being around someone who could truly be a mentor, a word you don't hear very often in this sort of rapid sort of society that we have. But boy, all of these elements are really important. Well, Lois, thank you so much for sharing this with us again. I look forward to doing it again. And both Lois and I want to really acknowledge the sponsors, who you will see listed at the end of this conversation, because it was their support and their input, their knowledge and their passion that really made it possible. So thanks very much, Lois.
Thank you. And we couldn't do what we do without all these sponsors. And I thank you for bringing awareness of seniors to the community as well.
You're welcome. Onward.
Ready to go.
Okay. To see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.
A Look at Seniors is underwritten by the generous support of these sponsors.